The architecture of the Duat, mapping the invisible landscape. When the ancient Egyptians spoke of the Duat, they were not describing a literal hell beneath the dirt. They were mapping a complex, multidimensional realm of human consciousness. It is a metaphysical landscape that every single soul navigates in sleep, in deep meditation, and ultimately in the spiritual transition. Welcome back to Harmonized Spirits. Now today we are opening the gates to a massive, ongoing, deep dive into Egyptian metaphysics. Then this will include spiritual pharmacology and the mysteries of the underworld, among many other things. So in this first episode, we are mapping the invisible architecture of the Duat, the 12 hours of the night, the mechanics of the threshold, and why we understand the ancient subterranean map is the single most powerful key to your modern spiritual evolution. So let's dive in. To understand the Duat, we have to completely strip away westernized dogmatic concepts of heaven and hell. The Egyptians did not view the underworld as a place of eternal punishment. They viewed it as the ultimate realm of transformation. In the primary solar text, like the Amduat and the Book of Gates, the Duat is the womb of the cosmic night. Every evening, as the physical sun sets in the west, the sun god Ra enters the unseen realm in his golden night barge. But Ra doesn't simply sleep or rest. He undergoes a perilous 12-stage journey through absolute darkness. Along this journey, he encounters guardian entities, passes through 12 distinct guarded portals, battles the chaotic current of Apep, and at the exact midpoint, midnight, he merges with Osiris, the lord of the underworld. Through that union, Ra is recharged, regenerated, and reborn on the eastern horizon as the morning sun. Now, why does this even matter to you sitting here today? Well, basically because in high esoteric Egyptian tradition, what happens macrocosmically in the cosmos happens microcosmically inside your own physical and energetic body. The Duat is not just out there in the stars, it is within you. The 12 hours of the night represent 12 distinct frequency shifts or thresholds of initiation within all human consciousness. Now, if you sit down and study the actual text, you're going to run into a kind of a fascinating problem. None of them agree on the exact layout of the Duat. If you look at the Amduat, the underworld is divided into 12 distinct hours along a flowing river. If you read the Book of Gates, it focuses heavily on massive fortified gateways and fiery portals. If you look at the Book of Two Ways in the coffin text, you get a literal visual map with zigzagging land and water routes. And in the Book of the Dead, it shifts into a personal labyrinth of trials, halls, and judgment rooms. So why didn't the ancient priest create one single standardized map of the Duat? Basically, because the Egyptians understood a fundamental metaphysical law. The astral and the underworld realms are non-mappable. They are shape-shifting spaces formed by consciousness, intent, and frequency that is brought into it. There were three main reasons for these variations. So the first one is perspective and purpose. The Amduat was written primarily for the pharaoh to align with the cosmic solar cycle. The Book of the Dead was customized for the individual daily human soul that is navigating its own specific baggage. So different perspectives require different blueprints. So the nature of the unseen realm, the Duat is a landscape of symbols, dreams, and archetypes. Trying to draw a single physical map of the Duat would be like trying to draw a single fixed street map of your dream world. It changes based on the consciousness of the traveler entering it. There's also evolving mysteries. Over thousands of years, Egyptian theology evolved. They didn't just discard old understandings when new ones emerged. They layered everything together. So the layout wasn't a geography lesson. It was a vibrational guide. The map changed because we and they have changed. So when you go through a dark night of the soul, or an intense ego death, or even a sudden life transition, or even a deep somatic shadow work, you are actively walking the terrain of the Duat. And just like those ancient texts, your personal journey won't look like anyone else's. One person's underworld experience feels like a barren desert of isolation. Another person's will feel like drowning in a lake of fire or standing before a locked iron door. So the texts describe massive stone gates guarded by terrifying entities holding knives, spitting fire, or bearing ancient names like She Who Overthrows or Mistress of Dread. Modern readers look at that and think it's superstition. But in practical shamanic terms, those gatekeepers are frequency locks. They represent the unintegrated shadow, stored trauma, unexamined fear, and subconscious density sitting in your nervous system and your field. So if you try to step into a higher frequency state while carrying dense, unresolved lower baggage, those internal gatekeepers stop you. It manifests in your life as anxiety, sudden creative blockages, physical fatigue, or spiritual stagnation. The lesson of the Duat is simple. You do not fight the monsters at the gate. You don't need a rigid one-size-fits-all map. You learn the secret names of your own internal guardians, gaining conscious awareness of your shadow, and you raise your vibrational purity until the gate opens automatically. So let's anchor this into your energy right now. Wherever you are, if it is safe to do so, take a slow, deep breath in and hold it at the top for 3 seconds. Exhale fully, letting your shoulders drop. Visualize yourself standing at the threshold of the first gate of the Duat. The night air around you is vast, cool, and still. Feel any lingering tension, worry, or fear sitting in your chest or your stomach. Recognize that the darkness before you is not empty. It is the fertile womb of your next evolution. Repeat this decree silently or out loud in your space. I do not fear the deep spaces within me. I recognize the night as the womb of creation. I do not demand a rigid path through the dark. I trust the fluid wisdom of my own transformation. I am the traveler, I am the light, and I know the names of my gates. Take one more deep breath into that truth. Let your nervous system settle into the knowing that light is always forged in the deep dark. Now, this is just the first blueprint on the map. In episode 2, we are breaking down the spiritual technology of the soul, specifically the multi-layered anatomy of the Ka, the Ba, and the physical vessel. and how to kind of begin working with your etheric double in waking life. If this brought value to your journey today, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know where you felt this in your body. And if you're ready to move beyond just listening and step into actual ritual application, somatic practice, and community work, click the link down below in the description to join our community on School. So until next time, keep walking in alignment and mastering your gates.